And hello everybody, welcome to the Mango Grove. My name is Krisha and this is today's Bitcoin and Ethereum analysis video. It's been a while since we last covered ETH and I noticed that quite a few people have asked us to cover Ethereum. So here we are. Also, today is a weekend, so happy weekend to each and every one of you. I hope it's going to be a splendid one ahead. And also, it is Halloween, so for what it's worth, the year has been scary enough as it is, but happy Halloween to each and every one of you as well. I hope it's going to be a day full of candy. If you have kids, then you know, there's always a plus side to Halloween. Lots and lots and lots of candy. And I, for one, will be dressing up as Sleeping Beauty, and I fully intend on assuming her role throughout the weekend, not just for today, but for the rest of the weekend. I think it's going to be very fitting. But today, guys, I want to start off by giving Sean a very big shout out. So over the past couple of days, I've actually been watching the Ichimoku module that he very recently published, and he did not let me sit in the room while he was creating it, so I didn't know what to expect. And damn, am I blown away. Okay, now for those of you in the Mango Seed program, Sean has published this. This is already live, so you guys should be able to find it on your course curriculum there, okay? And honestly, I actually think that this may be one of my favorite modules from the entire course. That's how freaking good it is. And it's so good that I just feel like those of you who are not in the Mango Seed program, you guys should have a little piece of it too. So I'm kind of bouncing this idea off of Sean wherein, you know, we could possibly publish a couple of videos from the module for free. The information in there and the way he has presented the Ichimoku Cloud, okay, with analogies, and he's explained the entire thing, I think it's absolute gold. It may actually be one of the best modules currently on YouTube, hands down. So I want some of you guys out there who have been following us for some time to get a piece of this little Ichimoku module that Sean has just published. But I will keep you guys in the loop, okay, in regards to that. That way you know if we plan on doing so. Okay, now with this, let's get into the analysis and see what Bitcoin is up to. She is looking beautiful. So now we're just going to stick to our usual drill, start off with the weekly, start off with the monthly, then the weekly, daily, and 4 hour. Now I have to cover monthly because, well, we close the monthly candle tomorrow, actually. Today's the 31st, so yes, tomorrow is a brand new month, guys, and holy moly, we're going right now, 14K, guys, Bitcoin at 14 friggin' K. Okay, damn. Okay, so we close a week in 2 days, and we close the month tomorrow. This is really, really exciting. I think this rips from here, guys. We're going straight to 16K, FYI. That is going to be the next major weekly resistance that price is likely to contest. As far as the monthly time frame goes, if we close over 14K, it goes all the way. I think the next region goes all the way to 17.1K, all the way up to that 20K psychological resistance overhead. It's going to be explosive. And the thing is that 17K is not. There's resistance there, but it's not strong enough. And why is it not strong enough? It's because there's only one data point there. I'm literally deriving this region of resistance only based on one data point. So that is why it is not strong. So we could very well see price rip up even further. So watch out for this. I feel like, and this is something that we spoke about yesterday, as soon as Bitcoin closes over 14K, we are officially in price discovery. Okay, and that is something to note. At that point, yeah, we may see support at 17K, but hey, we could even see it earlier or even all the way up at that 20K psychological resistance overhead, right? So it's going to be a tough one from here on, okay, as soon as Bitcoin closes a monthly candle over 14K. So that's something to watch out for. But no, this is looking bullish. This wants to go up. If we close under 14K, then we're likely we may, I'm not going to say we're likely. I feel like there's too much probability in the word likely. But we may actually see price oscillate between 14K, going all the way down to this region of support at 12.2K. Okay, it's going to be an if this, then that. Only if we close under will I actually be looking for price to oscillate between that range. However, if we close over 14K, I do believe that this is likely to rip up even further. Okay, so that's what I'll be watching out for on the monthly time frame. But you need to understand, guys, that right now the momentum is super, super bullish. And rightfully so, because there was some really bullish news that came out today on Bitcoin. Now, that had to do with the Iran government adopting Bitcoin to facilitate their trade affairs. So that is something, to sort of keep an eye out on. There's a lot of, I feel like Bitcoin has never been this validated ever before. Okay, so this year of 2020, this was the year that Bitcoin actually got its massive validation, all right, from various government and institutional bodies. So honestly, while I am a trader and I will be looking for short opportunities when the market presents me with clear short opportunities, I don't think I will ever be okay being net short Bitcoin. All right, let that sink in. Net short. I'll take the trade, yes, but I don't think I will ever want to be net short Bitcoin with the kind of traction and the kind of interest that's poured into the space. All right. Now, of course, this is my personal sort of ideas on Bitcoin, but I'm also going to go ahead now and get onto that weekly time frame and see what Bitcoin is doing on the weekly. We close this in 2 days. Once again, guys, 14K is also weekly resistance. Okay, it's not only monthly resistance, it is also weekly resistance. That's something to bear in mind. It is a very strong region that price is currently contesting. So be careful if you're looking to jump the gun on this. The last thing you want is buying against resistance, especially buying on leverage against resistance. All right, it's a different thing if you're buying spot, but buying on leverage against resistance is it's not recommended. For me personally, that's a rule. Okay, in my rule book, I never buy against resistance. I usually wait on a confirmed break or I'll buy on a pullback. But 14K is resistance. We're testing that right now. If we close over 14K on the weekly candle, okay, on the next weekly close, then I'm looking for further continuation to the upside. The first point of resistance only coming in, I think I already told you guys about this, 16K. Okay, 16K is going to be the first point on that weekly time frame. If we close under 14K, then hey, we may, okay, now this is a may, we may see a pullback all the way down to this region right here, once again, 12,340-ish, give or take, essentially testing that breakout region from last week. Okay, so that's what I'll be looking for. It's a very classic break, retest, and then continuation. As far as the cloud is concerned, the cloud is green. We have a beautiful bullish T across. The 21 EMA and the 10 SMA have that beautiful positive slope, and it is going up pretty aggressively right now. And so is the Tenkin and the Kijun. And well, for those of you who have watched Sean's module, now you know exactly what the Tenkin and Kijun are looking at when they're calculating that slope. So these are all like really important tiny bits of information that you can actually take to build really profitable systems, really profitable trading systems. Okay, so right now, weekly, guys, we are in an uptrend. We are looking good. Let's move on to the daily and see what the daily is up to. Daily. Well, how is 14K done on the daily time frame? I believe 14K is also, strong resistance on the daily. Let's move into this price action right here. Okay, so we have these candle body closes in wicks, these candle body closes in wicks. Okay, it's decent. I feel like it's almost like a range on the daily time frame. Okay, the range is basically from around 13.8K, which is also our technical resistance. Remember, 14K is only psychological resistance. 13.8K is that technical resistance that we're deriving off of these candlesticks, off of price action on the chart. So it is going from 13.8K all the way to this region right here, 14.3K. So it's going to be a range of resistance that Bitcoin has to fight before we actually see a breakout on the daily time frame. All of these things, guys, by the way, it's going to have a cascading effect onto the higher time frames. Whatever happens on your lower time frames, on your minor time frames, if that trend continues on the minor time frames, that usually ends up having cascading effects on these higher time frames. Okay, and that's how you look at it. Now, personally, when I take my leverage trades, I focus on one time frame and one time frame only. Okay, I only take the trade based on that, and I exit my trades based on that same time frame. Because if I start looking at multiple time frames, I'm just bound to confuse myself out of my own position. All right, and that's what you want to eliminate. You want to eliminate any sort of confusion, any sort of gray area on your trades. Have proper invalidation points, and really pick a proper time frame. Okay, please don't play the 5-minute and the 10-minute charts. Okay, that's extremely stressful, and it requires a lot of trade management. So 14K on the daily time frame holds too. I think it's, like I said, it's a range from 13.8K going all the way up to 14.3K. Now that's the range that we're going to be looking at. But guys, what's to note here is that this too, guys, daily is looking good. We're trending on that. We haven't even lost the 10 SMA ever since we broke out of that beautiful symmetrical triangle. Okay, now we met the mesh, moved off the symmetrical triangle, and we have already seen continuation to the upside. All right, so we are still very much trending up. The Tenkin and the Kijun have also had that beautiful positive upslope, and so does the 10 SMA and the 21 EMA. We have a bullish crossover set up. The cloud is green. Everything is looking extremely bullish. Let's actually also put on the mango ribbon and see what we're doing, you know, relative to our other EMAs and MAs. So this is a complete bullish crossover setup. 10 over the 21, over the 55, over the 89, and then 200. This is gold. This is gold for the bulls right now. So daily is looking very good, and 4 hour. And that's the thing, right now the daily time frame and even those weekly time frames, it's not giving us signs of us actually wanting to have that pullback. So your first sign of price actually having that pullback is going to be given to you on those lower time frames. Okay, so as you can see now, I'm currently on the 4 hour time frame, and you can see that we're still holding that 4 hour uptrend, right? And what I mean by that is that I'm looking at price, the lows on the chart right now, on that 4 hour chart. Okay, we've been putting in a series of higher lows. And until and unless we actually break that trend to the downside, I will be looking for continuation. It's if and only if we start if we start breaking that higher low structure, will I be anticipating a further push to the downside. Okay, let me just also put on my cloud. And there we go, damn. Notice how we got rejected off of that 14K region. This is why I keep telling you guys that pay attention to the regions of resistance and support that price is oscillating within. Okay, that's going to tell you, it's going to tip you off on good trade setups. Imagine, someone actually having bought here as soon as price, closed over this major region of resistance at 12.3K. I'm actually just going to zoom into that price action. Like, that was a clear trade. Not only did we break resistance there, we had a bullish setup there. We had an uptrend that had been established. The 21 EMA 10 SMA crossover was also bullish. We had that we broke out of that amazing symmetrical triangle. We had a mega bullish crossover setup between the Tenkin and the Kijun. So there were a lot of signs there tipping people off that, hey, this may be a very, very good trade opportunity. So these are little signatures on the chart that you can pick up on to strengthen the hypothesis behind your trades. Okay, now as you can see, we got a pretty decent rejection on this candle here when we went up to 14K. So that's why I said watch out for how we close. You do not want to be going leverage long against resistance. Be careful of that. So if we start losing that uptrend, I will be looking for Bitcoin to first come and test on the 4 hour time frame at the very least. This region right here at around 13.1K. If we start breaking 13.1K to the downside, okay, then we'll have the next major support only comes in at 12.3K. From what I can see, at least on the 4 hour time frame, look at these candle bodies and wicks here. So that is going to be the next major region of support, okay? That price will likely contest if we start breaking 13K to the downside. So that is something to bear in mind. So watch out for how price sort of reacts right now, because that is going to really paint the picture for whether or not we do see that pullback. If we close over 14K, I think it's game. Okay, game for the bears. This is likely to have continuation to the upside. And yeah, this is what Bitcoin's doing. Let's quickly pan on over to Ethereum. ETH usually moves with Bitcoin, and has it moved this time? It has. I mean, Bitcoin has been extremely aggressive. Think about it. On the monthly time frame, guys, we are approaching price discovery. Okay, this is pretty freaking big. This is very big. Bitcoin at price discovery. Remember what, for those of you who've been around since the last bull market, remember what it was like during 20K, Bitcoin at 20K. All that noise, all that mainstream noise. Hell, I had my family members coming up to me asking me, oh, should I buy now? Question is, are we seeing the same kind of noise this time? I don't think so, right? The world is like super distracted. In fact, Bitcoin is technically, with its consolidation and massive downtrends, even the downtrend from 6K to 3K, then that massive push to the upside to 14K, and then back down to 3K on the coronavirus dump, that sort of desensitized people to not just the volatility, but also Bitcoin's, trudge to the upside. So a lot of people, Bitcoin, with every small trudge to the upside, people started getting very desensitized to price, right? And not just desensitized, we started getting benchmarked to say Bitcoin at 9K, Bitcoin at 10K. All of these price points suddenly started becoming deals for traders. So these are all little cues that could tip traders off on what kind of trend the overall market is in. So currently we are in an uptrend. We are being benchmarked every day to higher numbers on that scale. So these are little, cues that you can pick up on, not just on the Bitcoin market, but even like, traditional markets as well. We are clearly in an uptrend. As far as Ethereum goes, I'm actually noticing something here on the 4-hour time frame, but we'll go over that in a minute. Let's actually start off with the monthly, because we do close a monthly for Ethereum as well. And if we just look at this price action, it's looking good, right? So when I last covered Ethereum with you guys, I did mention that Ethereum had this beautiful double bottom formation on the monthly time frame that we did break out of. And I told you it's only if and only if price actually starts breaking that neckline to the downside. So I'm looking like a break of, I believe it was $310, if I'm not wrong. I personally was looking at 310, going all the way down to the candle body closes here at around $300. Okay, if we start breaking that to the downside and closing candles underneath that, only then will I look at this pattern as being negated. However, it has not been negated. It is still very much active. Okay, I do believe that we had a legitimate break on this, and while the measured move of this beautiful pattern would take Ethereum all the way up to, I believe it was $500, $576. So that is still the measured move that I personally will be looking at. And what I really like about this measured move, guys, is that it's actually in line with a monthly resistance overhead. Okay, I'm looking at these candle body closes here as well as right here. So these are all little things that I look at to actually determine the strength of any potential measured move for any sort of pattern. Now, so far, Ethereum has acted really well in relative to its region of support at 300. I do believe it's held. It's looking bullish even on the monthly time frame. And if you notice, if on closer inspection, you'll see that the 10 SMA and the 21 EMA has seen an official crossover there. It's a bullish crossover setup there. Okay, so we may very well see continuation on this. I'm actually also going to put on my simple moving averages, because I like that on Ethereum. It does extremely well on simple moving averages too. And notice how we got the cross much earlier. The bullish crossover between the 10 SMA and the 20 SMA came in much, much earlier. And we saw an immediate sort of push to the upside, kind of tipped us off that, the trend may very well be switching. Okay. And so far, it's looking great. We're holding the 10 as support over the 10 SMA, over the 21 EMA, over the 55. The 10 and the 55 have officially seen another crossover there. So that is also looking very, very good. Now, if Ethereum has to see a continuation to the upside, the next region of resistance, once again, is going to come in at $577, going all the way up to this region right here at around $719. Okay, that is going to be the next two major points of resistance for Ethereum. I think the monthly is looking decent. It's not looking as strong as Bitcoin's, of course, because, Bitcoin is testing its highs, like its monthly highs. We're breaking major, major points of resistance that could very well propel us into price discovery, and that is not true for Ethereum, so that's something to note. Bitcoin is definitely looking stronger if you have to compare the two assets. Okay, Ethereum and Bitcoin. Now, this is Ethereum on the monthly. Let's quickly pan it over to the weekly and see what we're doing there. Ethereum relative to its weekly cloud, this is looking good. Yeah. Okay, so, well, the cloud is green. Okay, if you notice, I'm just going to switch off my horizontals for just a minute. The cloud has officially turned green for Ethereum. All right, when was the last time we did that? I'm just going to fix my scale. The last bull market. Damn. The last bull market, guys. Ethereum's cloud has been red ever since that last bull market. Okay, so that's something to note. We have not, this is the first time ever we are switching into a green cloud on the weekly time frame. However, price is still within the cloud, but we're currently over all major MAs and EMAs that we're looking at, right? The 10 SMA being 1, 21 EMA, and 55 MA. And what's key here is that there is a bullish crossover set up there. Not just that, the Tenkin and the Kijun have also crossed bullish. That is a bullish TK cross between the two. So this may very well see continuation. I think it's going to be more solidified as soon as Ethereum starts closing the weekly above this region right here at around $434. We start seeing weekly candle body closes over that. This is likely to see continuation to the upside, possibly going all the way to, well, the edge of this cloud, depending on where that comes up to, okay? Going all the way up to $700. So that is definitely on the books, okay? Very much on the books. So Ethereum on the weekly, guys, looking good. We're holding that 10 SMA as support. If we still keep holding it as support, then I'll be looking for further push to the upside. The first point that price is likely to contest is at $436. However, if we start breaking it to the downside, well, then the first region that I'll be looking at is that 20 simple moving average. Okay, that's coming in at $345, going all the way down to $317. But right now, guys, the bulls have the edge, period. The bulls are in control. Okay, so that is something to note on Ethereum's weekly time frame. Let's get on to the daily and see what the daily is up to. And the daily, how do we close? Yesterday, we closed all right, I guess. Nothing too special. What's key here is that overall daily structure, right? We're putting in a series of higher lows on the daily time frame, and until and unless we lose that, I will not be looking for further continuation to the downside. Okay, if anything, I'm actually looking at this as a potential buy and, managing the trade off of this trend right now. Okay, that's going to be, the uptrend has clearly been intact and price has clearly been following it to the T. Now, if we start breaking that to the downside, only then will I be looking at further downside with the first point of support coming in at $353, going all the way down to this region right here at around $318. But once again, like I'd mentioned earlier, the bulls have the edge. We could very well start seeing continuation to the upside. I will start looking for continuation as soon as price starts living over that 10 simple moving average on the daily time frame. We see that, then the next region of contention is only going to be here at around $442. Okay, that's what I personally will be looking for, but I do believe that the overall sort of picture on Ethereum is still in bullish territory. Now, I know that some people are playing the Bitcoin pairings and are looking at the Bitcoin pairings, and they're getting a bit, demotivated on their positions. And now this is something that I mentioned in the C chat yesterday. I'm like, it's going to be, and this is something Sean told me, playing ETH BTC, okay, in a bull market, any of the Bitcoin pairings in a bull market is akin to playing one bull against the other. Okay, so that's something to watch out for, and it's about you're essentially you're trying to pick which bull is going to win, and that could be pretty devastating when you're playing the Bitcoin pairing. Like I said, you're pitting one bull against the other. So personally, for me, I will only be looking at the USD pairings because I do believe that's going to give us a better picture on whether or not an asset is in an uptrend. Okay, I do not want to be pitting it against another bull. I'd rather be pitting it against something that's already stable, quote unquote stable, which is the US dollar. Okay, because that is going to give you a better sort of outlook on the overall trend of that underlying asset. And if you look at ETHUSD, we're still in an uptrend. Yes, the Bitcoin pairings may be getting annihilated, but they're USD pairings. Many of the cryptocurrencies that people are getting scared of right now, the USD pairings are still in an uptrend. Okay, this is ETH. I believe Link 2 is still in an uptrend on the daily time frame, and there you go. Okay, and this is what I mean. But if you get onto the Bitcoin pairing, they're both getting like super annihilated right now. So if you can take your trades on the USD pairing, and what's really cool about the crypto space is that if you take leverage trades on USD pairings, the settlement of your trade happens in Bitcoin. So for me personally, it's like a win-win, right? So there's no reason for me to pit one bull against the other. So I personally will only be focusing on the USD pairings. And of course, this is my thing. Tell me what yours is in the comment section below. And what are your thoughts on, trading this coming bull market? I'd really like to hear what you guys have to say. But this is all I have for you guys and for Bitcoin and Ethereum. And with this, trade safely, trade stress-free, trade the mango way, trade the easy way. Ciao.